Hi, welcome or welcome back. My name is Yu Oyun. You can call me Yu Win or Win. And I'm really happy that we are sharing this moment together whenever and wherever you are tuning in. So, this video is a part of a 90-day series, and I am hoping to continue to speak my truth and to share my story. That was the purpose of starting this. And the last day should be December 27th, Saturday, I believe. And so I hope that if this is something that you've been working on, you may take this as a sign, confirmation, take that step, dedicate that time, record that song, write that chapter, get up in front of that crowd, take the mic. Yeah. Okay. Awesome. I do like to start each one of these videos with a practice. And lately, I've been thinking of practices that I want to take on since the end of the year is coming and a new year is right around the block. I liked how my friend's daughter told me before I had to leave Thanksgiving day. I'd been with them for lunch and we hung out and we spent some time playing. And then I was trying to figure out dinner and I decided to go home to my family. And so when we were saying goodbye, she said, I wish you were staying. And I just remember being a little bit floored because she wasn't she wasn't throwing a tantrum. She didn't throw a tantrum. She wasn't trying to convince me to stay, but she expressed a hope, a wish, a want, and I really appreciated it. And so I'm hoping to practice that. I don't exactly know how. Maybe I will just frame it as I wish, blah, blah, blah. So, um, let's say, for example, in my experience from Sunday night or Monday morning, I left when I woke up because they had a lot going on and I didn't want them to have to spend the energy or time taking care of me because I knew that, well, actually, I didn't know their schedule, but they had places to go and people to celebrate. Um, and so I left, but I wish I'd been able to hug them. So if I had seen them, or maybe when I talked to them, I could say, "Oh, I wish I could have hugged you goodbye." And there's no like, you did anything wrong. There's no blame. Um, there's no shame, but it does express desire or hope or wish or dream. And so I think that would be a really good practice for me to continue to speak, well, to improve at speaking my truth in relationship. Okay. So that's what I'm thinking. And I'm just sharing it with you in the case that maybe it's something you can consider or something you could share. So there's that. And then, yeah, I really appreciate those of you who were able to watch my last video and for those who witnessed all of the emotions and experiences that I shared. I did appreciate those who reached out and commented, and also my personal life. The couple of people I shared it with were also concerned, and they were checking in with me, and it meant a lot. I was like, oh, do I have a community? Which is partially why I also wanted to do Well, one of the reasons why I created the channel, right? I did want to do it in the hopes of bringing people together and having people share things and connect. But I know that, that's out of my control. So I'm not trying to make that happen. But the responses were like, oh, there's a community here for me too. So I appreciate you for just watching it, even if you didn't comment. Um, but it was really interesting because today I didn't feel as bad or as oh um I guess I didn't feel worse than I could have felt. Um and I'm proud. It was interesting because while I was going through it, I remember there was one moment or pause or thought where I was like, well, all of this work that I've been doing to like shift my mindset and to imagine that my mind is a garden that I'm, planting things for or a field of crops. And I was like, oh, I wonder, like where this is coming from. I think I was trying to make sense of like if there was a catalyst. Um, but after, I mean, recuperating yesterday was really more physical than anything. It wasn't really emotional. And so today there's just sort of like back to how I've been feeling before the weekend. So I think that was interesting to experience. Um, and I was hoping that it's because of the shifts that I've been leaning into and, the effort that I've been putting into like being more intentional about my thoughts. And even if those happen at the beginning of the day and the end of the day, like maybe they're not happening all throughout the day yet. But I was very surprised and grateful and hopeful and proud that I'm in the space that I am in, considering what it was like on Sunday. Yeah, it's kind of wild. It's really interesting. So I've been sitting with that, and then I had a I had like a holiday kind of virtual meetup with um my virtual boss. And we were just talking and sharing. And I wanted to let her know because this morning I was thinking about, like, oh, I think the experience, I don't know if it was a panic attack, but I'm just going to refer to it as like the falling episode where I just felt like I was falling and couldn't catch anything. I had the thought this morning falling is filled with infinite possibilities. Um, Filled with numerous possibilities, right? And I was thinking about it with grief. Um, a couple of folks were sharing with me the grief that they've been going through, the losses, anticipatory or not. And I was thinking, like, oh, like I remember for me, there was there were possibilities in grief, and so I've been sitting with, just kind of this idea. And the last time I met with my virtual boss, she had let me know that my hours were going to decrease. And I let her know, I'm a little scared, um, a little, worried about the income. And so today, when I saw her and I had already had those thoughts, I was like, I just wanted to follow up and let you know um, that I'm choosing to see, the changes that are going to happen in January as filled with possibilities for new avenues of income, for, new avenues of aligned livelihood and aligned work. And I felt like it wasn't just hopeful thinking. I felt like it was like I was getting there and I was energetically feeling that. And so that was really fun. And then I was talking a little bit about some of the affirmations, like I prosper wherever I turn, and money flows to me is it? Oh, freely, easily, and joyfully. And so I share some of those with her, and she's like, "Oh, I have a meme," which I'll try to find because she didn't share it with me. But so we were delighting in this meme and sort of holding this energy of like plenty and that we have access to it, and kind of pushing away scarcity and fear. So that was really wonderful. And then when I went to go check my bank account and my balance, she had paid me for my last pay period. And I was like, oh, that amount doesn't look right at all. So I messaged her and I was like, hey, I saw this. And I was like, did you make a mistake? It was too much. And then she was like, no, it's my holiday gift for you. And I was like, oh, so sweet. I was like, oh, I don't make that much in a pay period these days. So, um, I was like, oh, like money is flowing to me freely and easily. Oh. And then I have been trying to be intentional and thoughtful about what I'm using my money for. Trying to sort of stretch and be creative and maybe like define things as needs versus wants and only focusing on the things that are necessary. And so situation, not a situation, but a situation. I said that. Uh, um, so somebody that I know is moving away and they're trying to sell some of their things. And so I was trying to ask, some of the logistical details, like what are the dimensions? I'm trying to figure out if it fits. Um, I don't need a new desk. I have a desk, it works. It's not ideal. It's not ideal because the desk space is so small. I can only like put a laptop and my keyboard so that I can raise the laptop and my mouse and like maybe a cup. But I couldn't like write notes if I was like trying to do my grief coaching course. I had to like shove everything in the corner, get rid of the mouse pad and everything, and then I'm still sort of hanging off the desk, right? So it's not ideal. It still works. It's not broken, right? Um, so then I asked the person I know, like, oh, how much does it cost? And then I went online to look at like used desks to see like what the kind of range was. So she was saying that what she had posted was about $50 more than kind of the average, or was it the lowest? I can't remember. Maybe the lowest I saw was like 140. So it was like a bit more. And then I was like, okay, I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do with that because the listed amount that she had it for felt too much, and it already feels maybe too luxurious. So I was like, okay, hold on. So I asked my friend, a Virgo, a Virgo sun, and I asked her the question. She asked me questions. And then we were like, oh, we don't have enough information. The person I know said, I can offer you a friend discount. So after having a conversation with my Virgo sun friend, um, I reached out and I asked, like, I just wanted to know how much, you're asking, well, what your friend rate is. So she told me, oh, it's like $100 less than her listed price. And I was like, oh, that's less than the other ones that I had seen. And so it just seemed like a good deal. And I, mm, even though there's a part of me that feels like it's luxurious, I'm also trying to remember one of Louise Hay's other affirmations in this video I've been listening to on repeat every morning. I deserve the best and I accept it now. And so I am wanting also to see this desk as a way to, well, it'll be bigger, so I'll have more space. It's also a sit stand, so I'll be able to adjust it if I wanted to stand and maybe dance or move around more. Um, but to have that space, I hope to be able to dedicate it to writing, whether it's writing in my journal, whether it's writing notes, whether it's writing letters or cards. Um, but I want to see that as an investment in writing, which is a part of who I am. So I'm excited and uh, I'm curious about the garden that's coming together, the garden of my mind. And I don't know. I know I was asking the question on Saturday, like, am I back to square one? Like, what's the point? And I've mentioned this somewhere, maybe, I don't know if it was in one of my videos or not, but something that I once heard from Abraham through Esther Hicks, and I don't know if I'll be able to find the video. It was like kind of a rare video. She doesn't usually channel that message. I'll see if I can find it in my history or my saved videos. But she said, according to according to this framework, the foundation of life is freedom. So we have the freedom to choose our thoughts. We have a freedom to not, you know, need conditions in order to be happy or to, we are free to focus our minds on certain thoughts. Um, so, so the foundation of life is freedom. The purpose is joy, and the outcome is growth or expansion. And I remember thinking about that. I was like, oh, that's really interesting. I don't know if I can get behind it, but it's really interesting. And so I'm sitting with the idea that I don't see very many people happy, whether it's like maybe in the moment sometimes, but like I don't meet a lot of happy people. And I want to shift that. So I want the purpose right now to be joy. If the foundation is freedom and I am free to choose my thoughts, I am free to plant seeds in the garden of my consciousness. I want to plant joy. I want to plant happiness. I want to plant bliss. Follow the bliss. It's another thing that Abraham channeled through Esther Hicks talks about. Because from my four floors of life, um, I know I'm going to grow. I'm never going to stop growing. I'm never going to stop learning. I'm never going to stop expanding. And so I don't want to focus on that anymore because I think it's maybe too serious. I think it makes it um, too focused on like the outcomes, which are sometimes and most of the time out of my control, anyways, right? I I wonder, I wonder what would happen if my purpose for now is joy. So I'm sitting with that as I end this day and shared this video with you. I'm also getting excited because I'm like, oh, I'm going to start reflecting on the year so that I could think about next year. I love it. If you have any questions or things that you use, like a guide or a workbook or something, please share. I'd love to see. And maybe I'll share some of the things that I've been using or that I'm going to be using this year in case you want to try it out and see what's out there. All right. Well, I'm going to get going. It's been a joy to share with you today. Thank you for witnessing this part of my journey. I hope that wherever you are, there is a possibility of ease and that there is the feeling of being loved and cared for. And I hope you know that you have the potential to share your light even in the darkness. I'm cheering for you. I'm rooting for you. I believe in you. And I look forward to connecting again if that's in the cards for us. All right. Take good care. All right. Bye.